Welcome back to our chess story series. And today we go back in our time machine to the year of 1789, 200 plus years ago, where François André Philidor is playing Jean Bruehl, a friend of his. Now, just so you know, Philidor, who came from France, was one of the best players of that time. He wrote a whole book about chess that we still have to this day, and he taught us a lot about what we know in chess, at least from that time. He taught us the importance of pawns. He taught us the importance of keeping the pawns ahead of the pieces so that the pieces can slide behind the pawns and then attack from under cover. In this game, he was so good that he often gave odds to his friends. So he would give a handicap. For example, here he's playing his friend John, and he decided to offer a whole free knight for a pawn. He said, all you have to do is give me the F pawn, and I'll give you a knight. And John said, okay, that's a pretty good deal, right? I get 3 points and you only get one. Okay, let's do it. And of course, it is a good deal, but in the hands of a master, and Philidor was a master, the F pawn is not the pawn you want to lose. If it's like the H pawn, that's a different story. So this pawn will be a problem later on for the king pawn cover, as well as the space, because in this game, John really disrespected the space. He gave no attention to it at all. He didn't care about it, and he paid the price. Let's take a look. We start off with King's Pawn opening, and right from the start, Philidor says, hey, can I have some space? Can I have this? Can I have that? Can I get my bishop out? Can I look at your f7 pawn? Can I get my queen out? Can I say hi to your queen? Can I say hi to your king? All these things are helped by e4. And John says, okay, I'll stop you. No bishop here. I don't like your bishop. Because that bishop would be even scarier than usual on the long diagonal. That's why John tried to block it. Then he could use the queen to help and maybe even castle the king the other way, far from the ruins of his king side. But Philidor said, no, 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 no. Today, I just want space. And John said, oh, you want space? Okay, great. But you're giving me squares too, you know? You're giving my bishop somewhere to go. Now I'm all right on f5. It's all good. And Philidor says, sure, but I get more space. You know, usually we start by taking out knights, if we had any. We start by taking out bishops and castling. And only later we start trying to space grab. But he tries to space grab from move 3. Because already here he has all these pawns coming in. All these pawns coming. He just keeps pushing them because the bishop gets caught in this avalanche going downhill into the king side. Okay, it's very hard to stop them. I mean, they're gonna keep coming, and good luck getting your other bishop out if you want to take him out this way, right? So this knight is not having a good time. That bishop is not having a good time. Black's pieces are struggling. Black said, you have space and I wanted to. You're not the only one. And maybe I'll get my bishop here, maybe get my queen here, and then I'll castle queen set anyways with all the space I'm getting here. And White said, okay, but give me more space. And he keeps on asking. He keeps on going. Now, if you want to be cute and attack my rook, try it out. See what happens. Bzzz. Sorry, you lost your bishop. The power of space is that you take away squares from the opponent. Does he have any space right now? Not much. So John says, wait. Okay, I have to run over here. My bishop is safe. I can still castle. Everything's fine. Okay. Philidor says, let me fix my space in place. Let me keep my space there forever. If I just get the pawn chain going, that's even better. I can get f4, d4, all this space will be mine. And he's going for this little shape over here, where he has all this space and he can use this green iron to just advance into Black's camp. So nowadays, I think along with most grandmasters, would just play d4. Most people would try to stop the d pawn. Right? You could play d4, c4, try to get in the way. This guy just cooperates. John says, sure, you can take the center, you can play d4, and White does all of the above. Okay, If he played d4, I think the bishop could come out, pawn comes here, knight comes here, queen comes here, black's just better. And this space is good, but it's not worth a knight good. It's not 3 ice creams good, okay? And so black is still winning with the extra knight, but not for long. e6, f4. Suddenly we get this little snowball shape where the snowball is coming into their camp. I don't know, is it a snowball or an alien spaceship? You take your pick. But regardless, that bishop is not having a good time. That knight's not having a good time, and we can still advance and still bully your king side with all the space we got. Now, even as you take out your pieces, we reinforce our center. You want to anchor it in place. The more defenders, the better. This is the ultimate space center, okay? Because you're taking out squares from that, right? No chimney knight today, but at the same time, you get all these squares. And your king doesn't have to worry as long as the center is in place. Because all these squares, all that space, keeps the bad guy out. They're restrained because they only have this much space. Okay, this shape is their space. That's a very small shape, don't you think? You can't fit many people there. Whereas my shape, my iron over here, is humongous and gives me space for anything I want. So pawns define the space. The more space you get for your pieces, the easier it is to attack. So black tries to break it down. We say, sure, give me a check. Go on. Yeah, bring my king where he wants to be. Do I need to castle? Who said so? Why? Is it because you're going to checkmate my king? You and what army? Where? The queen? Who's trying to jump over the center? The bishop? Who's nowhere near my king? The knight? Who's just nowhere, period. Okay. The bishop? Who's stuck with my pawns and his in the way? He's not having a good time. That's why he tried to get them out. He tries to castle, tries to fix the problem, but it's not so easy. Philidor says, let me get my attackers out. Now that the space is in place, I get my attackers in place too. First, we get more space by kicking out the pesky bishop. And when he's gone, reinforce. You take the space, now you have to defend it. If you forget it, they break it down. Okay, so you're responsible for the squares that you got. They're now your obligation, your job to keep them safe. Safe, 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 safe. All of this is safe. Okay. John said, whoa, 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 my rook will break it down. It's not safe. I got to castle unlike you. That's probably silly. They have all that space for their attack. Why are you going into it? Why not just, walk the king here, worst case scenario? Maybe you could even castle long. And this attack is a little less scary, I would think, right? Especially if we can lock up the queen side. If black can somehow lock this up, that would be great. But even here, white's pawns will come one day. So I would consider just putting him here. Connect the rooks, keep the king safe in the middle, and do nothing. Don't try to castle him anywhere, okay? Because that's where he's safest. No one can break him out of the shell, okay? Instead, John castled, and we get all the attackers in place. Light square bishop unopposed. Nobody is in his way. Philidor is saying, who's gonna fight me? You? You? Really? You can't do anything. What are you gonna fight from there? Nothing. Okay, so we can make fun of this bishop and in the meantime set up batteries. The queen's coming, rook's coming, pawn's coming, everyone's coming. At this point, black finally starts panicking, thinks he can defend with the bishop. Let's find out. Is our king good enough too? Iffy. Anytime we start pushing pawns, the rook can get us. So there is a truck and he's a mile away, but he's on your road. You don't know when he will get you, but he's on your road. Maybe it's in the morning, maybe it's tomorrow or a week from now. But why stay in the way? Why not just get out of the way? Then you never have to worry about the truck to begin with. All right. So he gets the king into a better safe square. Even though he looks weird on g3, he's perfectly safe. Also connecting everything. Right? Black tries to connect the rooks, and so do we. The rook has this hallway. I call these highways, open highway and hallway. Now that the hallway is ours, the rooks can be together like best friends forever. And so Black says, wait, my bishop can fight you. Look, you were making fun of him is good. He's a good bishop. And Philidor says, okay, you know who else is good? My battery coming at your king. At this point, John said, wait, don't scare me like that. I know it's Halloween, but don't scare me, okay? My knight's gonna come and help. Everything will be all right. I got this. My knight and bishop and rook and pawns will be more than enough for my king cover. Let's find out. Okay. Knight comes in, he starts creeping towards the king, coming closer and closer, looking for checks, looking to push some pawns too. When the knight comes to f7, he doesn't do much. He tries to block the way, tries to get here, too slow. Maybe if he was here already, maybe, but too slow in this game. All right. He's blocking their rook in the meantime, and they have no space. It takes them forever to bring this guy back here. Whereas my pieces have space, so it's easy to travel. Okay, it's easy to switch side, switch side, switch side. The bishop can do it whenever he wants to. This bishop can get both sides. The queen can get both sides. That's the power of space, is the ability to travel. You control all the roads for yourself, and they don't. They're squished. Okay, so we blow it open. Kaboom. Here comes the tactics. Okay, after knight g6, they have to take, but I'm blowing everything up, including His Majesty's roof. Okay, double attack, knight and pawn. Can they take? Bzzz. It's pinned. They can't. The knight has to run away if he wants to keep that extra ice cream of his. And if you even try to play something like that, I'll take your knight and then get my queen here and then look for g5 and blow open your roof and checkmate you anyways. Okay, you can't stop my bishops when the Fisher's bishops are looking angry like that. Okay, for that reason, Black said, wait, my knight will save the day. My knight will be the force shield. My knight will block your H file. You can't get me anymore. And Philidor says, really? Really? What about with two rooks? Can I get you now? Is that okay? What about I destroy your knight? What about I explode on the H file and then get your pawn for dessert? Is that okay? Like I said, no, you don't get to do that. No, I'll take your pawn. No nail pawn for you. He was already scared of this nail pawn on g6 who was coming that way, so he took. Even if you don't take, the rook is gonna come, okay? Or g5 is gonna come, followed by mate soon thereafter. Let's do an example, right? Let's say here, takes, and then I would be looking at rook takes already with queen h5 coming. Okay, I don't believe they will survive this for long. Okay, so that's the idea he had in mind. Let's see what actually happened. Okay, Black took the pawn, tried to get rid of the nail, but we invade. Bishop takes g6 with rook takes coming. They try to block us, try to clamp that h-file, try to clamp those rooks, not let them out, but the queen can come too. Everyone to the party. Philidor knew that 300 years ago. Okay, almost 300 years ago. And he got the queen who wasn't helping into g6. Okay, he's not in a hurry to take, because if you take, you actually let the king out. This is where the king may run away. This is where he can give up the rook and you'll never see him again. All right, so that's why he's in no rush to blow things open, no rush to sacrifice. I always say sacrificing is like surgery. It's the last solution. So let's finish this up. Bishop takes g6, queen b1, and takes the free bishop. Okay, if Black tried to take, then it's even easier, because next turn, boom, boom, and checkmate. Okay, that's why Black gave up the rook, saying, please take my rook instead, don't take my bishop. No, we take your bishop. And then we run back, get ready for the attack, get rid of your annoying knight who's in our way, And here I'll let you find the final idea to finish the game. You have 3 seconds and feel free to pause the video and see if you can find the winning tactic. We got the H file, but we're in check. 3, 2, 1. If you said queen takes knight, correctamundo. You got it. After anything takes my queen, rook or pawn, I don't care. Checkmate. We got the battery, we got the lock on his door, he's not running away, and we can finish with mate. Okay, how did we win? All because of the space. All because we got the space to base our attack around and travel from one side of the board to the other to his king.